Hello dear students, today I am going to discuss the questions. What percentage of data is between the first and the third quartile? So that is how much? Above first quartile 75% and above the third quartile 25%. So between them is 50%. Okay, so below, you see, below the first quartile it is 25%, above the first quartile it is third quartile it is 25%, and so 25, 25, 50, and in between it is 50%. So the answer is 50%, question number 1. Question number 2, if each data are multiplied by 2, changes in the mean and standard deviation, mean will get multiplied by 2 and standard deviation will also get multiplied by 2, because you know variance will be 4 times and a square times, and standard deviation is square root of that, so 2 times. What is the relation between standard deviation and range? This we have proved in the class. Standard deviation cannot exceed range. And second, if the range of a set of number is 0, then what is the interpretation? All numbers are equal. Question number 4, if the median and variance are equal to 0 and 1, if all numbers are increased by 1, so if you add 1, the effect of change of origin, so median will increase by 1, so it will become 1, variance will remain unchanged because variance is not affected by change of origin. The second part, if you have attempted this one, if the mean and the median of 3 numbers are equal to 0 and range equal to 1, find the 3 numbers. So there are 3 numbers, middle value is the median, so one of the number you already know is 0 and mean is 0, so sum of the numbers is equal to 0. So one number is 0, suppose the other number is x and y, so x plus y is 0, so the numbers are minus x, 0 and x, and range is equal to 1. So what is the range of x and minus x? Twice x. So twice x equal to x equal to half, so the numbers are minus half, 0 and half. Then which measures of dispersion remain unchanged under the scale of the data? So this is the effect of change of scale on variance is a square times, if a is the scale, and on the standard deviation it is a times. On the mean also it is same, that it is a times the mean once you multiply the numbers by a. So if you take the ratio, so the coefficient of variation is not affected by the change of scale. What is the relation between the Q3 minus Q1 and the range, where Q1 and Q3 are the first and third quarter? Obviously they cannot be more than the range because Q1 and Q3 will be between minimum and maximum, right? So minimum is Q1 is more than the minimum and Q3 is less than the maximum, so therefore Q3 minus Q1 cannot be more than the range. So Q3 minus Q1 is less than equal to the range. The measure of location is most sensitive to which measure of location is most sensitive to drastic changes in extreme values? So if you change any number drastically, that is increase significantly or decrease significantly, the mean will be most affected. So mean or the average. So probability a equal to 0, the set is empty, true or false? Obviously it is false, because I have told you that probability of a equal to 0 does not necessarily mean that it is an impossible event. It represents only one's degrees of belief. So one may not believe that this event may occur, but that does not imply that the event will not occur. For any event B, what is the value of probability of A union B? Well, I expected the answer in light of the previous comment, but some of you have written probability of A plus probability of B minus probability A intersection B. That is also fine, but actually since I am asking in this context, so this would be a probability of B only, because probability of A is 0, so you can verify that A intersection B would be 0, so probability of A intersection B is 0, so by that logic probability of A plus probability of B minus probability A intersection B, that is also 0. So what does mode represent? Mode represents the most frequent value, and is mean affected by permutation of the data. Permutation means rearrangement. So is mean affected? Obviously not, because to compute mean you add all the numbers, and addition is not affected by the permutation. right? And then write down the third axiom. So you know what is the third axiom? I have a sequence of events. That sequence of events are disjoint, and that is they don't have anything in common. Then probability of the union is the sum of the probabilities. And important point is that you are not taking finitely many events, but you are taking sequence of events, means infinitely many events. Prove that probability of empty set equal to 0. So that is a proof I have discussed. You have to use axiom 1 and 3. And if P is equal to A is empty, true or false. So this is something. This is a repetition of question number 7, right? So yeah, it was repeated, but anyway, if you also did this second time, I will give marks, not an issue. So okay, that is it.